Death tolls continue to rise in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene.
The State Fair is back in action, and the cars at the auto show are a sight to behold.
A famous board game was made in Denton's image.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV Nightly News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us on ntTV Nightly News. I'm Jackson Berry.
And I'm Aaliyah Bordeaux. After Hurricane Helene, the death toll across the southeast continues to rise, now totaling at least 180 people, with the majority of those losses occurring in North Carolina. President Biden visited the area today to take in the devastation. Reporter Laura Aguirre has the story.
President Joe Biden getting a first-hand look at the cataclysmic conditions left in Helene's wake across western North Carolina. A powerful perspective, says the head of FEMA.
Making sure that he understands the extent of the damage here and how challenging it is because of the topography here.
Some progress Wednesday. Asheville's mayor says one highway there is open, but hundreds of roads remain closed. Several towns still completely isolated, with many crucial supplies being delivered by airdrop and in some cases, mule train.
President Biden is going to want to make sure that we are bringing in every possible resource from the federal family to support this ongoing response effort.
Just hours ago, the president ordered the deployment of up to 1,000 active duty soldiers to help speed up delivery of crucial aid into stricken communities. One of the biggest response hurdles remains decimated power and communications grids. In Weaverville, the mayor took his turn at the only working Wi-Fi spot in town at a local grocery store.
They're going to have to rebuild the whole system. This is not going to be a quick fix.
But a lack of technology is spurring other important connections in the crisis.
It's really been an opportunity for neighbors to get to know their neighbors better than ever. I've had more sidewalk conversations in the past 5 days than I have in the past 5 years, I think.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
It's back to work today for the two men who want to be vice president. Last night, Senator J.D. Vance and Governor Tim Walz squared off on the debate stage for their one and only meeting. The questions range from the fighting in the Middle East to climate change and the recovery and cleanup situation in the Southeast. Both men supported the positions of their presidential candidates, and for the most part, observers pronounced it a civil and positive debate. Will it change the mind of any voters? Political experts say probably not. Today, Vance held a rally in Michigan while Walz was in central Pennsylvania.
And you will get your chance to weigh in on both political teams, with just 34 days until the presidential election. So you need to make sure you're registered to vote. ntTV's Madeline McRory attended a voter registration event here at UNT, featuring a big name in Texas politics.
The last day to register to vote in Texas is coming up quick on October 7th. If you do not get registered to vote on or before this date, you will not be able to vote in the 2024 election as a Texas resident. As a part of a tour to several college campuses around the state, Powered by People, a political action committee affiliated with former United States Representative Beto O'Rourke, hosted an event to get students registered before this deadline.
At UNT's Gateway Center, former Congressman Beto O'Rourke came and spoke to students about the stakes of this upcoming election.
They registered students to vote as they came in the building, regardless of political opinion. The organizer of the event at UNT, alumni Ryan Armstrong, says the goal is
to actually meet them where they are and turn out the vote.
Volunteer at this event, Rylan Watts, UNT senior and political science major, wants to make sure students can vote where they're at.
It's just super important to get young people registered to vote and make sure they're able to vote on campus and not have to go all the way home.
Eduardo Ochoa, a freshman marketing major, attended the event. He thought he was already registered, but when he checked with volunteers, he learned he wasn't in the system. He left the event registered to vote and feeling like it.
It kind of inspires almost everyone here to come and vote, so everyone just can have a voice.
O'Rourke was grateful to the attendees and volunteers at the event and is
really looking forward to seeing the UNT student body make a critical difference in these upcoming Texas elections.
If you want to cast your ballot this election, get registered by October 7th. Madeline McCrory, ntTV News.
Well, the weather was really, really good today, and I hope it's this beautiful on November 5th because I don't want any bad omens on voting day.
I can agree with you on that. Our weather anchor, Grace Escobel, can give us a quick look at what the upcoming weather is going to look like. Grace?
Thanks, guys. The sun is shining, it's a beautiful day, and I definitely wore the wrong outfit for the heat. Currently, it's 90 degrees out and feels like 90 with wind speeds at 4 miles an hour. Tonight, it'll cool down slightly, getting down to 74 and feeling like 74 with wind speeds staying the same. Tomorrow, it's going to heat up slightly, temperatures reaching 93 and feeling like 94, but the wind will pick up a little bit at 8 miles an hour. Now, the temperatures might not feel like fall, but that hasn't stopped the fall activities. ntTV Saturn Ferguson is already talking Halloween. What's up, Saturn?
Well, Grace, it's never too early to begin thinking about Halloween, but this year it's taking on a good cause. I'm here outside the Bearded Monk for their adult pumpkin carving contest. Behind me, patrons are showing off their carving skills and competing to win amazing prizes. This event is supporting a local charity, Love Packs Denton, which provides meals to students who would otherwise go hungry during the school holidays. Participants had to donate $10, which directly went towards the charity. This event raised over $3,000. This is one of many events happening in the city of Denton for their annual 31 Days of Halloween. To find more fun events like this one, check out www.dentonhalloween.com. Now, that's all I have for you guys. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Saturn. Coming up, a nationwide dock worker strike could mean a squeeze at the supermarket. We'll explain.
And here on UNT campus, the Denton Community Food Center's food drive is working to make sure residents get the food they need. Stay with us.
Turn to fabric of passion.
Oh, Hector, it will be so hard for us to part, but we must.
But, my love, what did I do? I thought we were meant to be together forever.
I am so disheartened to say that you're just not in style anymore. But you will be, to someone else, in a better place.
You're gonna shred me?
No.
I'm donating you to one of the many clothing donation boxes available on campus. There is one in the Union by the Syndicate and one on Union Circle Drive.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? I'm gonna be someone's new shirt.
I thought you'd be more distressed.
Oh, absolutely not. It was cramped in your closet anyways.
Maybe you would like to be shredded after all.
Good evening, my name is Amanda Hasbell and I'm joining you here today in the Union parking garage. Today we're going to be going over how to drive safely in the parking garage. Let's go see. Oh my god, this girl just got hit by a car. Let's go see what happened. Ma'am, are you okay? Are you okay?
Did you see that lady hit me with a car?
Yeah, we did. I got it all on video.
Oh my god.
Let's go over here and talk about how we can prevent that.
Yeah, not the hospital.
Well, right now we're going to ask you a couple questions on how we can drive safely in the parking lot. What are ways that we can be aware of our surroundings?
Oh, we can look both ways.
Jenna, also, how about putting the distractions away?
Yes, just like our phones, turning our music down, and also not focusing on our passengers.
Where can you get information on how to get a parking pass?
Transportation.unt.edu.
If you park in a garage, make sure you pay on the app or look for further instructions on how you should pay.
And remember, no pass, no park. Let's all try to keep our mean green community safe.
Remember, we're all in this together.
Drive safe.
The port strike on the Gulf Coast continues as tens of thousands of workers are on strike due to unfair wages. The strike not only affects the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, it also affects the circulation of goods around the nation, and consumers are starting to worry about how this will affect prices. Reporter Karen Kafa in Washington has more on the story.
There's a big gap between demands of the International Longshoremen's Association and the latest offer from the United States Maritime Alliance, or USMX, which represents the major shipping lines, all foreign-owned, and terminal operators and port authorities. At issue, wages and automation at the ports.
They want to come into America and build fully automated terminals and get rid of American jobs. Good paying jobs that support families with medical, pensions, annuities, and pay taxes.
Some of the 14 ports involved, the massive port of New York and New Jersey, as well as Boston, Baltimore, and Charleston, South Carolina.
I'm confident that everyone that is involved in that on either end are aware of it and did whatever they could, but we cannot settle the strike between the carriers and the union.
Also Wilmington, Delaware, which declares itself America's largest banana port. That means bananas could come up short at the grocery store. And even though domestic farmers grow cherries, certain berries, and other fruits, they can't meet all of the nation's demand. Without imports to boost supply, prices could push higher. Raw ingredients like sugar and cocoa imports also at risk, as well as imported chocolate and alcohol. The good news for holiday shoppers, things like apparel, toys, and other gifts don't have a shelf life like food imports and can park in a warehouse for months. So when retailers saw a potential strike on the horizon, they rushed to get products delivered before the strike began.
North Texas needs your help in making an impact for families and students in need of basic supplies such as food and water. ntTV's news anchor Edison Stewart has more on how to help.
A report from feedingtexas.org shows that 13% of Texas households experience food insecurity. That means that 1 in 8 residents are struggling with finding sources of food and water. This is especially an issue in Denton, with 21% of county residents experiencing this scarcity every day. Luckily, there are many local organizations created to combat this issue, with 2 next to UNT. Let's take a look.
The Denton Community Food Center was founded in 1974 and values itself on helping needy individuals and families around Denton with immediate food assistance. Since March of 2020, over 60,000 families have been helped, and this is due to the food drive drop-off locations. One of these drop-off locations can be found on campus inside the entrance to the Pole Recreation Center.
This food drive in particular has been going on for about a week and a half or so. We understand that it can be kind of difficult for students to even provide for themselves as individuals, let alone if some of them have families. So as of right now, we've probably raised roughly 100 food items for those in need. And as far as like response from clubs, it's been a super positive response. All of our clubs have been highly motivated.
Located right by campus is Aura Coffee Shop, a coffee house that specializes in teas, smoothies, and specialty coffee. People come by from all over to enjoy the refreshments, but what about the Denton residents who can't afford anything to drink? Well, luckily, Aura Coffee has recently become one of the newest drop-off locations for a bottled water drive. This water drive is being organized by Say It With Your Chest DTX, a community organization that is helping the unhoused population of the...
We are really super happy to be a part of that, especially to be working with Say It With Your Chest and Denton Water Project. It's just a super basic human need that is extremely hard to come by, especially in the summer months. Now that it's cooling down, obviously it's still an issue. You don't stop needing water when it stops getting hot. And we're about to be a drop-off location too for Keep Denton Warm. So we're gonna have coats and blankets and socks and stuff that are gonna be donated here, as well as possibly a food pantry type of situation. So we're trying our best to, all we have is square footage, and we're really happy to be a place where people can drop stuff by.
All from me on this story. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Edison. Aaliyah, North Texas has seen some beautiful weather these past few weeks, hasn't it?
I can agree on that, but I can't wait for it to cool off just a little bit. Our weather anchor, Grace Escobel, has more on our local weather. Grace?
Heat, as all of North Texas is in the same boat. Let's take a look at our current conditions across North Texas. In McKinney and Sherman, Gainesville, and Bowie, we have a nice cool 89, But in Dallas, Graham, it is a little warmer at 91. Fort Worth is at 90 and Lucky Paris is at 85. Now for our current conditions across the region. Here in Denton and Amarillo, it's at 90 degrees. In Abilene and Oklahoma City, it's a nice cool 87. Shreveport is 88, but Port Austin and Houston are at a nice warm 93 degrees. Now for our 7-day forecast. On Thursday, it's going to be a warm 94, and on Friday, it's only going to cool down slightly at 93 degrees. Throughout the weekend, it's going to stay around the low 90s with temperatures reaching down to the mid 60s at night. On Monday, we are going to see our last day of 90-degree weather at 91 degrees, and it's going to cool down to 61 at night. But luckily on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be hitting back down to the 80s, and hopefully after that, it will continue to cool down. It's going to be 88 both days with a low of 60 at night. We are not going to see any fall showers throughout the week, so you don't need to bring an umbrella. That's all for full weather. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Grace. And it's just crazy. It's already October and the weather's still in the 90s. It doesn't feel like fall or the holidays at all.
It might be hot outside, but that's not stopping people from preparing for Christmas early. Madeline McCrory is live and has more. Madeline?
Thanks, y'all. All around North Texas, kids are writing their Christmas wish list to Santa, hoping for their dream toys under the tree. But right now, Toys for Tots Denton is struggling to make those Christmas dreams come true. Last holiday season, Toys for Tots Denton distributed over 100,000 toys to kids throughout North Texas counties. This year, the organization needs help. For the first time in 9 years, they don't have someone willing to offer a warehouse to store their toys before Christmas. Now they're in talks with 2 potential warehouses, but nothing is set. The warehouse needed is between 6,000 and 10,000 square feet. No warehouse means that they won't be able to have the toy campaign. Christmas hangs in the balance because of this. That's all from me. Back to y'all at the desk. Thank you.
Thanks, Madeline. Coming up, Texas's own Alamo is getting a makeover.
And Big Tex has a few sports cars hidden in his garage, and I've got the garage door opener. Stay with us.
My bike is gone.
Stolen bikes are an epidemic sweeping college campuses across America.
What am I supposed to do?
It's quite simple. The We Mean Green Fund has partnered with the UNT Police Department to offer free bike locks to any UNT student with a bike. Just show up with your bike in tow and ask.
Now I'll never lose my bike ever again.
Enough worrying. Get your bike lock today.
Hey Alex, this guy on the internet says he wants to give me money.
That sounds suspicious.
What do you mean?
Typically, strangers who promise you money on the internet have their own best interest in mind. They often use bounce checks, which will disappear shortly after depositing, but not before they've asked for some money in return.
So he doesn't really want to spoil me?
No.
Well, then what should I do?
The best way to handle it is to block and report the suspicious message, or even consult local law enforcement if you've already fallen victim.
So I guess we aren't going to Key West for spring break.
No.
So a man's been walking in the desert for days at a time. He finally comes across a bar and orders a Coke.
That's not funny.
Eh? Eh?
A historic site is being honored by a brand new museum being built in its honor. The Alamo is not only historic, but it holds value and memories that deserve to be remembered. Our segment anchor, Isabel Smith, has more. Isabel?
Thanks, Aaliyah. In Texas, we never forget the Alamo. And now a proposed $550 million museum is in the works, hoping to ensure it won't ever be forgotten. The makeover will add a 100,000 square foot museum and a new visitor center. Yesterday, the makeover kicked off with over 300 people in attendance, including Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and British musician Phil Collins. Collins was a prominent donor in the project, supplying the museum with hundreds of artifacts from his personal collection. The Alamo will still be open to visit during the construction, with new additions to the historic site to be open to the public in 2027. That's all from me. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Isabel. The State Fair just started this past week, and people are beyond excited. And I'm no different than everyone else, especially when it comes to the car show. I got the chance to head out there and check out all the cars, and it was pretty amazing to say the least. Let's check it out.
When people think about the State Fair, they normally think about the food, and lots of it. But I think of the horsepower. Real horsepower. The State Fair is holding their Texas Auto Show, where you can go and see all kinds of the newest makes and models.
The neat thing about the State Fair and the car show is that you get to check out cars that aren't even on the market yet. Right now I'm sitting in a brand new Nissan Armada, hasn't been seen in the US, only in pictures, and I gotta say, it's a pretty nice ride. And Nissan isn't the only brand you can do this with. Every single brand here at the car show has a new car that you can check out.
The auto show has all sorts of vehicles, sports cars, trucks, cars with baseballs on them, and even cars in the sky.
The car show has a lot to offer. There's a lot of new models here, a lot of stuff that you're not going to see in your day-to-day, and you can actually, get in them, feel them, and experience whatever you want to see.
Even if you aren't a big car nerd, rest assured there are still a bunch of games you can play to pass the time. ntTV News, I'm Jackson Barry.
Auto is really nice, and I'm not even a Nissan guy. And it's not every day you get to sit in a car that no one in the country owns. I highly recommend you go out there and check it out.
Well, here's a quick fun fact. I will actually be attending the State Fair tomorrow. I'm so excited.
That is exciting.
Hopefully I can see some pretty cool cars.
That's not only an exciting thing that you should be looking forward to, though. Annie Tomlin has all the information about football and inaugural season. Annie?
Thanks, guys. UNT is set to host an inaugural basketball tip-off. The Dallas Stars are on a 5-game win streak, and Mean Green football started off conference play 1-0. More on sports after the break.
Do's and don'ts of the Pole Rec Center. See that man over there? Please do not hog weights. Instead, do this. Another important part is having an attentive spotter. See, here is an example of a non-attentive spotter. Instead, do this. Now we head to the track, which should be pretty easy, just it's important to pay attention to the way the track goes. Remember to wipe down the equipment after you're done using it. The towels are provided by the gym, so it's pretty easy to wipe down the equipment when you are done. Thank you for using the Pole Recreation Center.
Green football effortlessly secured the win against Tulsa on Saturday, and I had the opportunity to be there live on the field.
North Texas Mean Green football kicked off conference play with a win at home on Saturday, putting the team at a 4-1 record.
It's always great to win, and we're just blessed to be 1-0 in conference play right now. So we're going to enjoy it for the night. I think we went out there, we came out a little slow, but once we kind of got our feet settled in and we kind of got into a rhythm, I think that really showed like we can really hang in this conference.
The team secured the 52-20 win after a silent first half. This was a great opportunity for fans to really see what this team is capable of.
It's fun hearing the crowd react. Got your teammates next to you, got the belt. It's fun. Every win to build your confidence, but we're going to keep taking it day by day, one day at a time.
A home field advantage is something this team is striving to obtain. The Mean Green Nation plays a key role in helping out our team and is important to the success of Mean Green football.
And hopefully, hopefully that Mean Green Nation is paying attention to what we're doing right now. Let's get everybody in this Mean Green Nation rallied up and continue to come support these guys.
Mean Green football isn't the only team who's made a statement this weekend. The Dallas Stars are starting off strong in their preseason. The Stars are continuing to pave the way for Texas hockey. They've won their first 5 preseason games in a row, putting them at a 5-0 record and first in the Western Conference. Regular season starts on the 10th at an away game as they take on Nashville. Keeping up with the holiday themes this October, sports is finally coming into the spooky mix. UNT men and women's basketball teams are hosting the Nightmare on Elm Street tip-off on October 16th. The inaugural event will be held between Oak Street and Hickory in the Denton Square. Admission is free, and it's a good opportunity to get to know the teams. That's all in sports for tonight. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Annie. Halloween is actually right around the corner. Actually, around UNT's homecoming. Will you be dressing up?
I definitely am. And guess who else has a new costume this year? Monopoly. Yeah, they finally made a board game dedicated to Denton, Texas. Grace Grimes has more about the new game. Grace?
Thanks, guys. Monopoly lovers, get excited because the city of Denton and the Monopoly Man teamed up to create a Denton-themed Monopoly board game. Denton is not the first city with a Monopoly game. However, Denton is honored to join that list. This edition of Monopoly will include various locations in the city of Denton that were voted on by the community. If you're looking to purchase a Denton-themed Monopoly board, look on Amazon and different Denton stores for around $45. All right, y'all, I think it's my turn. Let me just roll the dice. All right, I got 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, Nash, looks like you owe me $100. All right, that's all I have for today. I'm going to spend the rest of my night becoming a millionaire. Back to you at the desk.
Hey, thank you, Grace. I wonder if I can actually buy and sell like my own house in that game.
Maybe. You'll have to play to see.
Oh. Thank you guys for watching ntTV Nightly News.
Join us again tomorrow at noon and tomorrow evening at 6 here on North Texas Television.